Due to the economic consequences of the COVID-19 pandemic, I've been getting more inquiries lately about how to file for bankruptcy in California. People are wondering what kind of debt relief will be available to them given the extreme loss of income so many Californians have experienced. Debt settlement and bankruptcy are the primary options for those who find themselves in overwhelming debt. I will explain each of these options more in depth and take you through the process for filing bankruptcy in California. Keep in mind that during the coronavirus outbreak, the bankruptcy courts in California are open, but all hearings are being happened by telephone until further notice. Hearing is, how much debt do you have to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy in California? The simple answer is that there is no minimum amount necessary, but that isn't taking into consideration the big picture. You need to make sure it's worth filing for bankruptcy in California if you have unsecured debts that you absolutely cannot afford to pay back. If you have lower debts, then a settlement might be a better option. A debt settlement is a negotiation made between your creditor and you, the debtor, that you will pay back usually a significant reduced amount of debt owed over a period of time or in a lump sum. Lenders like this option because they would rather receive some of their debt paid back rather than have you declare bankruptcy and receive nothing. A Chapter 7 bankruptcy is a liquidation bankruptcy. You'll file a petition asking the court to wipe out or discharge your debts, and in return, you may have to give up your property that is not exempt. Non-exempt property may be sold by the courts and used to pay off your creditors. Unless you own assets with significant value, you should be able to exempt most of the assets from a forced sale. Finally, if you own a car but you still owe money on your loan, you can usually file an agreement that's called a reaffirmation agreement that will permit you to keep your car and continue to make payments. When people ask me how often you could file a bankruptcy in California, the answer depends on the last time you filed. You have to wait 8 years between bankruptcies, and you can file for a total of 3 times in your life. The basic process of filing a Chapter 7 bankruptcy in California involves calculating your income with pay stubs from the last 6 months, compiling a list of your creditors, and then filing your bankruptcy with the courts. You will be required to take an online course regarding credit counseling before you file. You will also incur a $335 filing fee with the courts. Finally, if you are using an attorney, those fees must be paid prior to filing as well. There are pros and cons to filing a bankruptcy in California. The biggest and most obvious pro of filing for bankruptcy is that most of your debt is wiped out and you have a clean slate. Debts that may not be wiped out include your most recent back taxes, most student loans, alimony, child support, and fines owed to government agencies. But the stressful calls from creditors will stop with an automatic stay that bars your creditors from contacting you once you file. Also, you cannot be discriminated against by your employer for filing bankruptcy under law. The cons are that depending on your individual situation, you could lose non-exempt property such as cars, your house, bonds, and stocks. Your credit score will also suffer for the next 6 to 10 years. Although you'll most likely be able to apply for a credit card in the future, your interest rate could be higher than it is now. There are also costs associated with bankruptcy, including fees for filing credit counseling, attorney's fees, and the filing fee. If you need help filing for bankruptcy in California, then you should speak with a bankruptcy attorney who offers a free consultation. Never pay upfront fees just for advice. Find a bankruptcy lawyer in California who will listen to your whole story and offer more than one solution to help your debt problems based on your particular situation. Our office is open during the COVID-19 outbreak for free phone consultations over your debt issues. Contact me at 858-217-5051 to go over your debt issues, and we will map out a plan to get you out of debt and on with your life.